Hi, everyone. I'm Rusty Dunn from Enterprise Communications. Thanks for joining us today. And today, getting to know a little bit more about the Electric Power Division and the person who leads that organization, Caterpillar Vice President Jason Kaiser. Jason, first of all, welcome. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to talking to you today.
Well, we want to learn more about you and your role in providing global leadership for the electric power generation business and understand the depth and the breadth of the business, which some people may not be aware. And of course, working under not just the CAT brand, but MWM and the FG Wilson brands. But first, let's level set a little bit. You joined Caterpillar in 2000. And I always like to ask someone about what that career journey has been like over the past 21 years. And did it go as you thought, a straight line progression, or you took opportunities as they came to you? How did that work for you and your journey over this last 20 years?
Yeah, thanks for that. It didn't go as planned at all, really. If you go back to the very beginning, I joined out of college with Caterpillar, and I joined to be a machine service rep. And after about less than a year with the company, I think the program I was in had a few changes, and I had an opportunity to look around CAT and look at different positions, which I did, and found a really interesting role in the electric power division, and moved to the electric power division. I've been there ever since. And so a big change from what I thought I was going to do when I joined with Caterpillar. I share that a lot in mentoring discussions. Careers are not a spreadsheet exercise, because you really don't know sometimes the opportunity or the changes that are going to go your way. And that was a big one for me, and didn't feel great at the time because it was a big change, but very, very happy that it happened when it did.
Well, and I think some people who are hearing that, you're saying, it isn't just me. So yeah, it never always goes the way you thought it would. But, well, your background is in electrical engineering. Was that the path? I mean, not knowing where exactly in the company you would work, but was that the path you always expected to follow, something with regard to your background and electrical engineering in this case?
Yeah, and it has been for a really long time. And you go back, my mom actually has some pictures that I drew when I was in grade school that said, I want to be an electrical engineer when I grow up. I want to go to Rose-Hulman, which is where I went to college. So kind of known that for a long time. Another interesting thing now, if you look at where I'm at CAT, my dad worked at a big power plant. And so I grew up going out to that power plant with him. We used to do electrical work on the weekends. And I always kind of thought I would work at electrical utility. So that job as a machine service rep actually was a big departure for me. And the fact that I found my way into electric power, it all sort of seemed like everything came together at that point for me.
Isn't that amazing, the influence and the circumstances that, by hanging out with your dad and the work that he was doing gives you that initial interest in what your career might become. Well, let's talk, Jason, about the electric power business. And for people not familiar, maybe describe some of the different types of EP customers and how EP products and services help them achieve their business objectives.
Yeah, certainly. So you mentioned we have three brands. That's important to us. We have three brands: the CAT brand, FG Wilson, and MWM brand. The core of our business is generator sets, but we also have a lot of equipment that we wrap around those generator sets, control systems, things we call switchgear, enclosures, etc. And we use all of those to solve customers' problems, and then have services that go along with it. Every CAT dealer's an electric power dealer, on the Caterpillar side, which is interesting. And we have a big variety of applications. A lot of it's because our product line's pretty broad. So, it starts with a very small, imagine a 2-liter diesel engine on one side, and on the other side of the product line, there's 100+ liter diesel engines that are driving our gen sets. And it can be gas, it can be fuel types that change as well. One of our biggest segments that we serve and help is data centers. So, like our Teams meeting that we're on now, your credit card, your cell phone, all that data is getting stored. And we sell gensets to those customers to help them ensure continuity of those data centers and keep that data available when folks need it. Another great example is a hospital. So if you're in the hospital having operation done, something done, our gensets are there to make sure the power stays on through that whole process as well. Rental is another really interesting one for us. So a lot of our dealers have gensets in their rental fleet. and they can use them from anything from the county fair to disaster response. And one of the really fulfilling things for us in electric power, it's terrible when disasters happen, but when we see how much our gen sets help a hurricane, for example, it makes us feel good about the work that we do. Some other cool applications, like one of the funnest ones I went to early in my career was a greenhouse in Holland, full of flowers, and it had an electric power gen set that provided the electricity, gas gen set, but it also took the heat and used that to keep the greenhouse warm. So they had a really good efficiency and an overall operation with that greenhouse. So that's cool as well. And then we're doing some new things in the sustainability space with hybrid microgrids. So we have mine sites now that have PV, solar panels, and also energy storage that go along with our gen sets. And so that's been a fun new application for us as well. So very broad, big and small, lots of things that we do with different kinds of customers globally.
Yeah, I mean, depth and breadth, some big examples there, and it always really strikes a chord. You mentioned with disaster, when disasters occur, and the number of times I've seen our products out there, our generators, and certainly hospitals, given what we've been going through and the challenges of this past year. You mentioned services, Jason. I'm going to go back to that for a second in terms of the importance of aftermarket services to the business.
Yeah, so just like all of CAT, very important to us, very important to our business, our future, and we have a lot of focus on improving it. It can mean very different things for our customers. So part of what we call the standby part of our business, those gen sets, they don't run on a normal basis. They only turn on when the utility power goes away. And so in the services business there, it's about providing peace of mind for that customer, that gen set will be ready when you need it. We use CVAs, we use digital connectivity to provide that peace of mind, and more offerings and more capability to do that's important. If you take the flip side of the business, the other products we have, they run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they're the primary source of power. So those customers need service agreements that provide uptime, make sure that the gen set runs all the time. And a lot of times we're doing 10, 20-year service agreements with those customers. And even in our MWM business, doing some of that directly, where we have Caterpillar employees doing the service and even doing the operation of the equipment on site. So a lot of variability there, but all very important to our business and an area we're working to improve on a daily basis.
Yeah, it always amazes me. These are long customer relationships spanning out over years. With that customer. When you became Electric Power Division Vice President last year, of course, Jason, so let me ask you, how did you approach and sort of prepare for taking on that leadership role and connecting with people and under some challenging conditions, certainly with the pandemic still unfolding?
I've had a lot of people ask me that. Actually, over the last few months. One thing I'm really thankful for is I've got 20 years roughly of experience in the electric power business, and having had that and the relationships that I have in the business has been really valuable along the way. Also in terms of being prepared, I like to go back and thank the leaders I had along my journey too. I've had some really good coaches and mentors along my journey. Taught me a lot and pushed me out of my box many times as well to do things that I didn't think I could do, or even that I wasn't sure I wanted to do sometimes, and was very glad I did once I did it. Using that network, using the virtual tools that we have to stay connected, trying to do that to the best of my capability. I've made more videos in the last 3 months than my entire life. Is another thing that's been a very useful tool as well. But I do look forward to getting out and connecting one-on-one with people again as we're able to do that.
And I've heard it repeatedly with leaders such as yourself, reaching back to mentors, people that you've worked with who have helped you, that person who can always put that question on the table that you may not have thought of. Let me ask you about sort of the impact of the impact of the pandemic on your organization, and your leadership approach, needing to make a bunch of adjustments to keep the business going, to keep moving forward. keeping everyone safe given what was happening. But maybe the challenge behind that a little bit, yes, coming into this role as vice president of the organization, but just the overall impact of the circumstances we all found ourselves in.
Yeah, it's been tough, right? We've all been through a lot. If I look back and someone would ask me a couple of years ago, could we have gotten done what we've been able to get done under the circumstances? I don't think I ever would have said yes. Could we engineer new products with no one being in the office together? Could we continue selling and serving our customers, without getting on planes every day, every week? And we've done that, right? And it's been, a testament to the team. A lot of focus on safety and health too in our operations. Northern Ireland is a big operation for us, and that team did great things to keep the team safe while keeping us up and running through the pandemic. So I'm really grateful for that from the team. I think there's some things that will be good for us that we're going to gain from the experience. Obviously the virtual tools and some of the things there, but I think there's a bit of resilience or grit that we all have that we didn't have a year or so ago that we'll carry with us. Anytime that something's hard, you may not like it, but you learn something from it, and I think you carry it forward. And we all got a little bit of that as a CAT team, and really the whole globe, I guess, because of the pandemic.
Jason, it has been a pleasure to get to know you a little bit better and the organization as well. We appreciate you spending a few minutes with us. Best of luck to you and the Electric Power team as the rest of the year unfolds here. We're already a third of the way through, and I think it's going to go quick.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the time. It was fun to talk today.
Absolutely. Stay safe, Jason. Thank you. As always, thanks to all of you for watching. Have a great day.